There are 4 monumental changes at eXp Realty that nobody is talking about. That all agents that considered eXp Realty in the past that were part of eXp Realty but since have left, and all active eXp Realty agents today need to know about. And I specifically highlight these 4 eXp Realty changes because number 1, these are recent changes. And number 2, these were some of the biggest reasons that many of the 2,000 plus agents that I spoke to one-on-one didn't join eXp Realty. In other words, before these 4 changes were enacted, these were some of the reasons that agents weren't joining. Now make sure to stay to the end because there's still one glaring change that eXp Realty needs to make in order to have that additional explosive growth that it's seeking. Now the first thing that we want to look at is eXp Realty's referral division, which provides agents the opportunity to keep their active real estate license with the brokerage without doing the day-to-day activities of traditional real estate. In other words, this referral division allows agents to only focus on that part of their business, the referrals. There's no longer a need to join the MLS or join the National Association of Realtors, which being part of NAR was one of the biggest sticking points to several agents that were not accustomed to paying that NAR fee. Or said just a little less diplomatically, they saw NAR as a waste of money. However, now if an agent joins eXp Realty under the eXp Realty referral division, that is no longer a requirement. But what's important to note here is that all of the business that the agent now brings moving forward has to be a referral. So in other words, the agent that goes down this division cannot do the day-to-day real estate activities that a normal agent would. Now, when it comes to monthly fees, that is also a reduced amount. It goes from $85 a month to $50 a month. Now, as far as the splits go with eXp, it's a 75-25 on referrals to eXp agents and a 70-30 split to non-eXp agents. Now, this is the split with the brokerage, not to be confused with the split that you have on the referral. You can charge whatever you want on the referral side. So if you want to send out a 10% referral or a 70% referral, I don't know who would do that, but in case that's you, if you wanted to do that, you absolutely could. Now, this program itself mostly works for agents that have transitioned out of the day-to-day. Now, this referral program works for all types of agents, regardless if you're brand new into the business or super experienced. In fact, we have several of our agents that are only focused on the lead generation aspect and refer everything out. This past month alone, one of our agents actually referred 30 transactions. So since he's never going to be showing homes or sending out contracts, it makes more sense for him to be on the referral division, which again didn't exist until recently. Now, the next program does not apply to everybody, but to who it does apply to, it's a huge deal. And that's the Boost program, which is meant to incentivize independent teams and brokerages to join eXp Realty, where eXp Realty will provide financial incentives to independent teams and brokerages that are culturally aligned, have more than 50 agents, and a minimum of $100 million in sales volume. So the reason that this is a huge deal is because eXp Realty is actually making a financial commitment to these teams and brokerages that come over. Because let's face it, there's a huge cost and a huge risk to the teams and brokerages that come over to eXp. So these financial incentives are designed to lessen that burden. Now, of course, there are some restrictions, as you can imagine. For one, you cannot be affiliated with any non-independent franchise. Must be culturally aligned with and committed to adhering to the eXp Realty model. Must be invested in their continued growth with eXp Realty. Must participate in the eXp Realty Sustainable Revenue Share and Agent Equity programs. And must agree to incentive and retention terms and timelines. So just like any give, there has to be some take. So there are some restrictions. There are some things that the brokerage and teams that come over need to adhere to. Know that eXp Realty has committed millions of dollars to this Boost program to make this work, which is substantially better than how things were with large teams and brokerages coming over, because they just had to come over on faith and take on all of that risk on their own. Now, this next change made several people instant millionaires, and that's the change for the Tier 7 threshold on revenue share. eXp Realty changed the FLQA Tier 7 threshold from 40 agents to 30 agents, which means that agents now no longer need to have 40 frontline qualifying agents in order to open up their 7th tier, which under eXp Realty's revenue share model, Tier 7 is actually the most profitable one, where those agents that didn't have those 40 FLQAs might have hundreds into thousands of transactions on that 7th tier, where they were not able to collect that additional 4.5% revenue share from those transactions. So you can imagine how elated those agents that had 30 FLQAs, 31, 32, 33, and 30 somewhere, how elated they were when they got this news, because instantly, overnight, they had access to hundreds of thousands of additional dollars. Now, thankfully, I'm in a very blessed position to where it personally didn't affect me all that much, because I already had tier 7 open since the first year that I was part of eXp Realty, because I had already opened up the 7 tiers because I had 40 FLQAs already. But of course, not everybody is in that blessed position. There's only a handful of agents that ever got to 40 FLQAs. It is very challenging to do, and only 0.001% of agents ever get there. Now, the fourth monumental change happened with mortgage loan origination. eXp agents are now permitted to engage in mortgage loan origination activities in transactions in which they have a personal or financial interest. This is huge, especially out in California, because quite a few agents have a mortgage license and are a practicing real estate agent. And up until now, if you had both licenses, one had to precede the other. So if you were doing a mortgage loan, you couldn't do the real estate agent side of things. But now you can do both on your own transactions, and the transactions of your team, your group, your anybody. In other words, this is called dual capacity. If you are a mortgage originator and a real estate agent, you can now do both on the same transaction. As long as you disclose that's what's happening, that's very important. Now, just to show you how powerful this change was, the moment that this was announced, I sent this to everyone that I could remember that had both licenses, and 2 individuals right on the spot committed to eXp Realty. That was their only reservation from joining eXp Realty. So if any of these changes impact you and you want to learn how our Agent First group is growing real estate agents every single day, check out this video right here. And I didn't forget the one change that I see eXp Realty needing to make in order to really open up the floodgates is being able to do property management, because up until now, eXp Realty does not play in that part of real estate. Now, for me, it's a little bit late because I no longer own my property management company, which I ended up selling prior to joining eXp.